All right, welcome back, folks, to episode 11, I believe, of our Meet the Honors faculty here at Texas A&M University-Texarkana. My name is Craig McCashin. I'm the Dean of the Honors College, and I'm very excited to be joined today by one of my senior colleagues who I've known since I started at A&M Texarkana. He actually interviewed me. He may be regretting that. I don't know. But Dr. Michael Perri, who's a Regents Professor of History at A&M Texarkana. Good to see you, Perry. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Awesome.
Glad to be here.
That's what I like to hear. I'm glad to be here. So, yes, as many of you know, having watched every episode of this series, this is just an opportunity to get to know our honors faculty. And so, yeah, we'll run through some questions and we'll see where it goes. So, first question is very easy, no wrong answers. Where are you from and what brought you to A&M Texarkana?
I'm from California and many ways wanted to return to California, but I went across the country to get my PhD at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. And at the time, A&M Texarkana was the best tenure track option I had. So I was happy when Tom Waggy hired me. And then I embarked upon a task of teaching, I don't know, roughly 80 to 90% of my courses outside of my field. But I learned to appreciate the discipline and I guess to see reoccurring patterns in history, which then taught me something about the human condition and human nature.
Yeah, wow, much deeper than I was going. Where that kind of dovetails with our next question. I like the yes, the fact that at a small university, as historians, yeah, we sometimes teach our discipline or our speciality, and then other times just teach whatever. So that does kind of lead us to that next question. We're both historians, so we'll try to keep this without going 2 or 3 hours of discourse on the nature of history. But what did get you interested in history? You spoke to it a little bit, the human condition, but yeah, what got you started in being a historian?
Well, I think I've always been interested in history. My dad was a high school history teacher, so we talked about history. He always had history textbooks floating around the house. Um, yeah, so I knew I was interested in history. I didn't know I was going to be interested in Latin American history. And that kind of happened accidentally as well. I was in Germany, studying Germany, where I couldn't take history courses because the prerequisites for every history course was Latin and Greek. And I did not
As you
know Latin and Greek. I was struggling to learn German. While I was there, though, I became interested in American foreign policy, which got me interested in Latin America. And so when I came back, I decided to take courses in Latin American history, which then got me more interested in Latin America. Then I was accepted into the master's program in Latin American Iberian Studies. And then, interestingly enough, I think I got stuck in Latin American history even more, or Venezuelan history in
mm,
particular, because I struggled to finish a paper on colonial Venezuelan history in one of my classes. And, struggle, it could be good and bad. I could end up hating it for the rest of my life or finding it more interesting. And as I struggled and delved more into it, I found it more and more interesting. Ended up writing my master's thesis on colonial Latin American history, the interregional trade of colonial Venezuela. Then surprise, surprise, here I am.
here you are, sometimes teaching Latin American history. Yeah, I love that. So you developed an interest in Latin American history in Germany, studying American foreign policy. That's good. Yeah, I like that.
You got it right. Life moves in strange ways sometimes.
No, it really does, and I think that's what, and that our many viewers, I think, will always be interested in how people kind of come to their specialities or their interests. Because yeah, it's rarely a straight line. Yes, it's just I was in Germany, and there you go. So that's
And
interesting.
I wasn't one of these students that said, I know what I want to do coming into college, right? And at the time, I think it was both the times and also my parents who were not pushing me to know what I wanted to do right away. I think the times have changed,
Ooh,
but I still would encourage people to embark sometimes on college and say, college is a life experience, and I'll see where it takes me, and I could a time of discovery.
Yeah. Yeah, those it's harder and harder to do that these days. I think that's fair. Okay, so it kind of leads us a little bit, again, this is all very natural and organic, to the next question, which is what kind of appealed to you about joining the honors faculty and, getting involved in the honors, program and then eventually the college, because you did both.
I would say it's the students.
That's fair.
Um, I love engaging in high-level discussion with students regarding history, and honor students tend to be more willing to engage in such discussions by and large. Um, and the learning atmosphere is slightly elevated in honors courses, and instructors are always trying to cultivate a atmosphere of high expectations. But I find that honor students often come to the class already having higher expectations.
Mm,
So the result is that they not only push themselves, but the whole class, they push each other to
right.
have higher expectations as well, to learn more. And the result is a higher level of learning, which then I really appreciate. Now, I feel like somewhat of an elitist. I think I sound like an elitist in some ways right now, but and not non-honors courses are very important as well. But I love the opportunity to teach honors courses every once in a while, every now and then. And I do think that a lot of times the enthusiasm, the engagement of students' cohorts actually adds more to the learning atmosphere, sometimes more than the instructor himself or herself does.
Epic.
Yeah, sorry. I would love to say it's all about, all me, but
No, I would very much agree with that. And I know that you taught an honors course for us in the fall, which was connected to your American social and intellectual history class. And from what you told me, it was a great experience. And from
it
what I've
was a
heard,
great experience.
experience.
Yeah, it was. A high level discussion, high level learning. When I asked a question, I rarely asked the question. Sometimes I still had to call on a student and say, please answer this, but I rarely had a student just not say anything and not answer. Students were prepared and and engaged. It was fun.
That's always nice. Prepared
And
and
then they started engaging with each other and talking about it with each other, and it got more fun. I mean, it was great.
that is great. So yeah, that again kind of leads us into the next sort of scripted question, which is what would you tell an honors student that you want them to get out of their experience of being in the honors college or being in college, whatever. What do you want them to get out of their experience?
Well, I want them to grow as a person. I want them to enjoy college.
Hmm,
And academically, I want them to learn how to think critically,
hmm,
critical thinking. Um, I never intend to teach students what to think,
right.
but I do try to sharpen their analytical skills. In other words, I want students to learn how to think,
Mhm.
not just accept every idea or position before them, but instead to live a life of curiosity and questioning, to not live an unexamined life,
As
to quote
Socrates
Dr.
would say, yeah,
Yes,
all the way back
to
to Socrates.
and I think that adds value to life,
Hmm.
intangible value, and you can't put a dollar sign on it. Uh, but I think it adds quality to life, and we only have one life to live, so go for it. That's what I'd like them to take out of it, to
Point of
take from
personal
it.
privilege. I will say history majors do just fine on lifetime earnings. Um, I'm just saying they do. They do. And
Yes, of course. Yeah.
putting it out there.
Yes.
But no, that's true. You can be successful with any major whatsoever. And then the last sort of scripted question, and then we can kind of see if anything else comes up, is basically, is there something you wish you had known as a student? Like, is there, you look back and you think, if I knew then what I know now, that sort of thing.
Well, I think I learned this eventually while I was still a student, but when I was first a student, I really didn't know how to pace myself. And
Okay.
so I would encourage students, and when I taught IS 1100 or introductory, freshman courses, I kind of try to teach students, hey, pace yourself.
Yeah.
Um, you gotta balance your very intense studying time, which you're almost certain to have, with regenerating times, fun times, right? And enjoying college lifetimes. And if you go out of balance one way or the other too much, then you end up not liking college, or something goes awry.
Yeah.
Um, so that's what I would do. I also Now my colleague makes fun of me saying that I'm still stuck in the 20th century.
I'm
I
sure
have
I
a
don't know which one
suspicion
that
he
is.
has something right there, unfortunately. But I
Yeah.
wish our today's students would kind of appreciate the academic environment of the classroom,
Yeah.
the energy of a university campus, the ambiance of a place where uh, people come to learn, right? People come to learn and interact. And again, I do think I'm old-fashioned, and my opinions are probably antiquated, but
But you are a historian, Perry.
I am.
That comes with the
I'm also
territory.
maybe a historical figure here, in the sense that I'm still way back in the 20th century. But um, I don't know. I'll say some controversial. I'll say that I think students who primarily take all their courses online are missing something that I so highly valued when I was in my experience in higher ed as a college student. And I don't know how I could explain or
Hmm.
convey what that is, that kind of college experience. I think obviously today's uh, online environment is more convenient, but I'd still like to encourage students to come to where the learning energy is. I think the ambiance, the atmosphere I was trying to describe.
Hmm.
Um, and I might not be describing it very well, but I do think there's something missing today.
Okay. Well, everyone is
I
entitled to
encourage
opinion.
students to venture onto campus every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that obviously the learning environment has changed a great deal since we were in college. And I would say the online environment has changed a great deal. I took an online class in 1999, and it was, let's just say, not super engaging. I think we certainly do a better job these days with that. But it's a different world out there, man. That is very true. Our experiences were what they were. Quite now that I think back on it, 30 years for me, and
Let's not go there. Come on.
however many for you. It's a different world out there. And okay, yeah, cool. Any other thoughts? Anything else you want to share with us before I free you to get back to grading or whatever it is you're doing today?
No, how do you think the honors program is going, Craig?
Well, I wouldn't know because we have the Honors College now.
Ah, I
This is
keep
one of the
making that
downsides of my
mistake.
colleagues who had the pro. Now, to be fair to our listeners, the honors program was around for like 14 years, and the honors
I'm
college was
sorry.
around
I
for two.
apologize.
Thank you, Michael. No, it's been going great. Like honestly, it's been highly successful from the perspective of a lot of students wanting to do it, a lot of faculty, wanting to be part of it. As I say to all of my faculty and students, I mean, it wouldn't happen without them. If we didn't have students who wanted to do it, and if we didn't have faculty willing to do it, it would pretty much just be me, yeah, sitting around, and that wouldn't be particularly successful. But no, it's been great. Campus has been wonderfully supportive of it. The students have been great. We've had a bunch of programs and events and classes and everything. So I think it's
Well,
fantastic.
I'd like to compliment the Honors College
Thank you. Thank you.
for providing this opportunity for students. And I do think it comes close as we can, maybe in today's age, to the type of education that I was saying that I'm nostalgic for. We have, students coming and generating a learning environment in the classroom. It's great.
Yeah. Well, we are glad whenever they have a good experience. That makes me happy, and I would agree that they, generally speaking, have good experiences. That's the other good thing about it. We really haven't had that many bad experiences in honors, so that's been nice. Touch wood. Okay, well, with that, I think that's probably. I don't really have a time limit on these, but sure, that's probably about as long as we're going to go. I will say thank you once again, Dr. Perri. I'll go ahead and get this uploaded to our YouTube channel. I suspect it will appear in March, I think is what we're aiming for right now. And you will wait for all of the correspondence and emails to flow in once people start watching this, wanting to know how to also become Latin American historians. So be ready for that, my friend.
There will be an avalanche.
Could happen. Anyway, all right. Thank you very much. I appreciate
All
it, Perri.
right.
Take care.
See